Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for supporting this great event and ceremony that we are having today. My name is Carina Monge. I'm a friend of Julio César Aragón, and he asked me to be the master ceremony for this ceremony, and I feel honored to do that. We're gonna start with a moment of silence for the pass away of our dear friend and leader of this project, Senator Goodwin. Dear friends and neighbors, we proudly invited you to attend the street co-naming ceremony to honor the legacy of César Chavez. As a child, César Chavez was a migrant worker moving from place to work on farms. As an adult, he helped improve the lives of migrant farm workers in the United States. Cesar Chavez was born on March 31st, 1927, near Yuma, Arizona. He died on April 23, 1993. He stands as inspirational and visionary activist for social justice and a role model to generations. Today, we are here co-naming the street, Raymond Street, as Cesar Chavez Memorial Way. Let's learn a little bit about Cesar Chavez. Do you know that he inspired Obama, "Yes, we can" campaign slogan? Yes. Like my shirt? Yes, kudos for that. One of his 31 grandchildren is a pro golfer. A U.S. Navy cargo ship is named after him. He attended 38 different schools before 8th grade. He fasted for 36 days at age 61 to protest. And also, he was a vegetarian.
All right.
And now, let me introduce to you, with great honor and privilege, the Honorable Mayor of the City of Providence and keynote speaker, Brett Smiley.
Thank you, Carina. Welcome, everybody. And thank you for starting with the moment of silence for the great Senator Maryellen Goodwin. She was integral to this project and so much good work. On behalf of the City of Providence, we've lowered city flags to half-mast in her memory today, and we'll continue to honor her legacy in the days to come. I'd like to recognize some current and former public servants who are here today and appreciate not only their attendance today, but I think in living out the legacy of Cesar Chavez. All of these are friends of the working people, friends of labor, and I think public officials for whom he would have been proud to know and see the support that they have. In no particular order, and please bear with me if it's not quite in order of office, but Councilman Sanchez, Councilwoman Graves, Councilman Pichardo, President Miller, Representative Morales, Representative Sanchez, Councilman Taylor, Councilman Espinal, Councilman Vargas, Councilwoman Vargas, Senator Mack, former Representative Aaron Regenberg, former Representative Bob Lancia, former Councilman Terry Hassett in his former district here, Councilwoman Peterson, and of course, thank you to Carina and to Julio César Aragón, who we'll hear from shortly, for organizing today's event. I apologize if I missed any other colleagues in government. And good afternoon, you all. This is a nice moment to honor the legacy and to celebrate the symbol of hope that Cesar Chavez has become for millions of Americans. His leadership through the struggles of the farm workers in California, and then later his leadership through the organized labor movement throughout this country, not only raised living conditions and wages for farm workers, but has served as an organizing force and a symbol to all those who struggled for the rights to collectively bargain, to lifting wages, to improving working conditions, in addition to being a true civil rights pioneer. The United Farm Workers of today, which would not exist without him, are just the beginning of his legacy. His commitment to La Causa inspired not only those at home in California, but nationwide, and in many cases in nations beyond America. He showed the world that equity, justice, and change are possible, and it's my honor to help honor his legacy here in the city of Providence. I want to thank, as I said earlier, the Mexican American Association, led by Julio César Aragón, for today's work, but also for lifting up the Mexican community in Providence and across the state regularly throughout the year. The legacy of the Mexican community here in our home state makes us so much richer. It's part of what makes Providence special. They're an important part of our community, and we're proud to call them our neighbors. And for the family, the Chavez family, who's been a part of this historic moment, is a great honor for all of us. We're grateful that you could join us. And I'll leave us all with the famous words of Cesar Chavez of "Together, all things are possible." In a moment where nationally there's so much division, we can continue to lead by example here locally. Because the divisiveness and the rancor and the division that we're seeing around the country, we don't often experience at the same levels here at home. And so if we can stay together, we can continue to move towards positive change. We can continue to make progress here at home, in Rhode Island, and in Providence. And I hope that we can continue those words as we continue to push for those changes. To my colleagues in city government, to our great leaders in state government, let's stand together and continue to push forward. Thank you very much. Carina?
So we're gonna continue with some of the supporters to make possible this event today. Let's welcome Althea Graves, Councilwoman, Ward 12.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have to say how proud I am to be able to stand here with all of you as we dedicate this street to a wonderful, strong civil rights leader. I said civil rights leader, and I said it throughout the time. And someone had the nerve to say to me, but he's not black. And I said, what does that have to do with anything? They said, well, a civil rights leader is a black person. And it was a young person that told me this. It hurt my heart because I want to know what we're teaching our children. A civil rights leader is someone who organizes people, bringing them together to correct injustices. A civil rights leader is a person that puts his or her body, soul, and mind into a commitment and follows through. He is definitely a civil rights leader, or he was. And we need to always make sure that our children know our history. We need to make sure that they know that there are civil rights leaders amongst us today, you know, of all colors, of all religion, and all races. And they don't have to be rich and sitting anywhere. They're right amongst us. There's civil rights leaders in this crowd, you know. So I am proud, so proud, to be able to say that I stood here with you all. I am so proud to say that this man came up to me and said to me, I want to have a sign here. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, no problem. And he said, well, we couldn't get it before. And I'm like, why not? He said, but I want one. I said, I'll do the best that I can to make sure that you get one, because there should have been one along when that statue came. The sign should have came. And I hope everyone goes and sees the statue that's further back in Davis Park. It's been here for years. And you'd be surprised how many people don't know about it. People that go to attend this school don't know about this. That's a sad state of affairs. We have to do more. We have to speak more. We gotta let everybody, young and old, because I don't want to just jump on the young, because it was us old folks that let them down. So we gotta make sure that every nationality is aware of all the powerful things that they've done to make this United States what it is. It took all of us. It's gonna take all of us to continue this. So please celebrate this. Please enjoy the music. Please recognize and remember this man's name. And if you don't know, read, learn. That's what books are for. That's what you are for. We are all teachers in our own right. Let's teach one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Graves. Now let's introduce to you Miguel Sanchez, Majority Whip, Councilor Ward 6.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes a todos. Muchísimas gracias para compartir este tiempo ahorita con nosotros. Este es un momento muy especial para todos, pero especialmente la comunidad latina, mexicana, mexicanos, americanos. Primero les quiero decir muchísimas gracias a Julio y el comité para todo el esfuerzo. Como ya dijeron algunos, este proyecto empezó más hace 10 años con el statue allá en el parque, y ahora vamos a estar muy felices y orgullosos de teniendo esta calle en memoria de una leyenda en nuestra comunidad mexicana. Y todo lo que hizo Cesar Chavez. Today, I just want to thank you all. There was a lot of people that made this possible today. In a time where a lot of folks across the country are trying to erase history, it's important that we fight back and promote. Cesar Chavez is a legend in the Mexican-American labor movement. He's always been with workers. Right now, we have a strike going down at RISD, striking workers. A lot of them black and brown Providence residents. So like Cesar Chavez did, he started the fight, but it continues to this day. It's a fight that every generation is going to have to take on to fight for equality, for justice, for what we deserve as working class Americans, Mexican Americans. But like I said, I just want to thank you all for being here. Let your friends, family know of what we're doing here. It's important to demonstrate how far we have come and how far we need to keep going. Thank you all.
And now let's hear from Juan Pichardo, Council President Pro Tempore, Ward 9.
Thank you. And first of all, let me just say that, Mayor, thank you for being here. My colleagues in the City Council, and also in the state and former representatives, and all of you for taking your time on this beautiful Saturday. But as we celebrate a person of revolutionary thought and thinking for a better future for Latinos, but farm workers, and just in general, I have to share with you that today my heart is broken and in deep sorrow because of our good friend Senator Goodwin passed away, and she's no longer with us physically. However, this project here began with her, with Councilman Terry Hassett back in 2024 when Cesar Aragón in the community were championing the struggle of us Latinos here in the state of Rhode Island, and through the good stewardship and the love that Senator Goodwin has had for this community, but for the state of Rhode Island and in Providence, brought all of us together with Councilman Terry, and this is in addition to the growth of our city. So we do mourn her today as we take this special time to honor Cesar Chavez, to remind us that our struggle began when he was a poor young man, and seeing that many people were struggling as farm workers alongside with the Filipino community. And then on the other side of in the north, seeing also the struggle of Dr. King, and to see that and have hope that we as a community could come together and have a better future, not just only in our own communities, but throughout the world. And so, along with Dolores Huerta and many more, today we honor his name. That within this name that we have put right here in this street, and his statue being here across the street from an education is no accident, because he had the most important thing in his mind, that education is the most powerful thing that we have to offer our kids. And so, with that said, I want to really dar las gracias a todos ustedes por estar aquí y hacer este esfuerzo en este día, llegar aquí en este parque. Estaba indicando que la historia de César Chávez es tremenda, y hoy especialmente recordamos también a la senadora Goodwin, que falleció hoy, y por ella en 2004 empezamos para traer esta voz como comunidad latina, un revolucionario que estaba pensando diferente para un mejor futuro. No es un accidente que la estatua de él está ahí, que se logró en 2006. No es un error porque estamos aquí, es porque él valoraba mucho más la educación. Y para nosotros recordarnos que la lucha todavía sigue. Todavía hay muchas desigualdades en nuestra comunidad, y ese letrero que vemos acá, cada vez que pasemos por aquí, recordarnos que todavía y vamos a seguir luchando para tener mejores oportunidades para nuestra comunidad. Así que muchas gracias y felicidades a todas nuestras comunidades. Congratulations to all of our community, the union leaders, our community, those who are not here, couldn't be here, but have been in this struggle for more than 20 years in Rhode Island, but for the Cesar Chavez family, over 50 years. So thank you very much.
And now let's welcome David Morales, State Representative, District 7.
Lo que tenemos enfrente de nosotros ahorita es un momento y un día muy especial para toda nuestra comunidad de Providence y del estado de Rhode Island. Y es un resultado de alguien que luchó para más que 15 años para asegurar que lo que tenemos enfrente ahorita sería posible. Y le vamos a seguir diciendo muchas gracias a Julio y todos los miembros de la comunidad que aseguraron que esto sea posible. Porque necesitamos recordar qué representó César Chávez. César Chávez representó a alguien que luchó contra la injusticia de los salarios bajos, la injusticia del racismo que existió. Y cómo luchó. Porque había muchos momentos donde su vida y la familia de estaban sufriendo de la policía, del gobierno, que no querían que siguieran luchando. And so what we have in front of us today is a very special moment and a very special day across our communities. Not just for Providence, but for the state of Rhode Island. This is the result of community advocacy and organizing coming together and being culminated. This is the work of Julio Cesar and the countless advocates over the years who fought for the establishment of the statue, who have fought for more representation as it relates for our youth, our young people, in all cultures, to be able to be further exposed to who Cesar Chavez is and was. Because Cesar Chavez, we need to remember, was an organizer and a fighter against injustice. Injustice as it relates to racism, the injustice of low wages, the injustice of brutal working conditions that more often than not, people of color and immigrants were forced to experience because they didn't have a voice. But Cesar Chavez exercised his voice. He exercised his voice and organized amongst the rank and file, letting them know these are our rights and we have to fight for them because no one else will. And similar to Dr. Martin Luther King, he experienced threats from law enforcement, threats from the government itself, trying to stall his efforts. But he demonstrated to all of us that justice will always prevail, that the heart of organizing is within all of us, especially our working class communities, especially those who have experienced struggle firsthand. And so for that, this is more than just acknowledging the naming of a street. This is more than just remembering a statue. This is us being able to reflect on the life, the legacy, and the meaning of what Cesar Chavez represents to all of us. Thank you.
And now, Enrique Sanchez, State Representative, District 9.
Friends, family, members of the community, amigos, familiares, miembros de la comunidad. I want to thank each and every single one of you. Quiero agradecer cada uno de ustedes por estar aquí con nosotros. This is a special moment for the Mexican community in Rhode Island, but the Latino community, for the diverse communities that call Rhode Island a home, Providence a home. I have gotten to know Mr. Aragón for many years now. Him and my grandfather, Enrique Sanchez, owner of Sanchez Market, en paz descanse, mi abuelo, my grandfather, rest in peace, established a relationship for over 30 years. And Mr. Aragón was one of the first community members, leaders that my grandfather connected with. And we've gotten to know him over the years, his dedication to the labor movement, to the Cesar Chavez movement. We have been very close over the years, and I want to thank him for this, for all his work in the community, as much as all of each and every single one of you as well who have contributed to our community here in Rhode Island. Honoring the legacy and the memory of Cesar Chavez is important for the labor movement, because we have been struggling as working class communities, as unions, to always advocate for our labor movement. Right now, we're seeing what's happening in downtown with RISD and the workers there that are struggling to gain a fair contract. We are seeing the injustices, the working conditions that workers at UPS are facing with their management and big corporations. We have seen what the struggle with our SEIU workers, healthcare workers, have been dealing with major corporations. We have seen the struggles of all the workers in every working condition. It doesn't matter if they're white or black or brown or Latino or LGBTQ plus IA or anyone. We are all workers. We are all working class communities, and as elected officials, we have to always take into consideration and prioritize the working rights and their environments and these workspaces, because the workers are what produce what we eat, what we are, and everything that we represent in our communities across Rhode Island. And that's why it's our priority, and it should be our priority, to always emphasize the workers. And that's what Cesar Chavez has always left as a legacy, as a leader in the labor movement. And like Councilwoman Althea mentioned, Cesar Chavez was part of the civil rights movement. Just like we include Martin Luther King Jr. and other diverse and folks who represent the labor movement as well across Rhode Island. I also want to just end this moment here with making a recognition to Mr. Aragón, not just on behalf of the House of Representatives, but I also want to invite all our elected officials here, senators, the city, the mayor, to come and to give Mr. Aragón a recognition from the state. if I can invite my fellow colleagues in the state government, Senate government, the mayor, the city council to please come, and so we can give this recognition and citation to Mr. Aragón.
Favorito, Julio. Gracias.
And now, before the ribbon cutting ceremony, let's welcome la persistencia, el líder de esta comunidad y más que todo lo que ha luchado para que esta calle se llame César Chávez. So let's put our hands together to welcome the leader of this beautiful ceremony today, and also his persistence, because he worked hard. It was more than 15 years to get this done. Julio César Aragón, de la organización y el comité de Rhode Island de César e Chávez. Bienvenido. Welcome.
Buenas tardes. Todos somos César Chávez hoy. Muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Les agradezco a todos y a cada uno, a los que han colaborado con todo esto. No soy yo solamente, todos han colaborado. Agradezco al City Council de la ciudad, que son fenomenales. Me están dando el mejor 5 de mayo por adelantado. Tuve que esperar 16 años para que nos dieran esto. ¡Cabrones! I'm proud to live in Providence, Rhode Island, because Providence, Rhode Island give it to us so many opportunities, but it takes time to get the opportunities. And this time, we get it all together. Los considero mi familia, aquí somos gabachos, Rhode Islanders. Gracias a mi concejal Terry Hassett, que fueron muchos años que luchamos, la senadora Maryellen Goodwin, que se nos fue, John McCauley, el congresista David Cicilline, Sheldon Whitehouse, Jack Reed, bueno, todos, el senador, para mí va a seguir siendo mi senador Pichardo. Muchas gracias, realmente Rhode Island merece mucho más que esto y todos se lo vamos a dar. Thank you very much. Rhode Island deserves more than this, and we all together, we need to work in together. We all are part of Cesar Chavez. So Cesar Chavez was our inspiration, and thanks God. Gracias a Dios. Buenas tardes. Vamos ahora el listón.
Agarre ahí esa punta. Lo hacemos ahora cuando cortemos.
A ver. No, yo no.
No. This is your hard work.
Scissors. These two scissors. One for you, one for the mayor. Wait for the picture. Okay, everybody's here. Mariachi, a little close.
Come on, Mariachi.
And then, as soon as they come, we say, sí se puede, and you're still singing.
1, 2, 3.
¡Sí se puede!
Hola.
Congratulations to César Chávez Memorial Way, Raymond Street. This is history today. We make it to the history. Providence, Rhode Island. We have officially elected in our city of Providence, Mayor Brett Smiley.